Hello, and welcome to episode 138 of Bardic Quest. Our heroes have defeated the Wyvern-riding would-be assassin, and now have him at their mercy. What answers will he reveal, and will they affect their quest for Thorik's ancestral weapon? So, without further ado, let's get into this week's episode of Bardic Quest. Okay, very nice. Very nice. Okay, so, aside from the slight sound of snoring that you can hear coming from the guy in dark clothes, silence befalls the grassy plains that you find yourselves in.
Good aim.
Thank you.
Bravo.
Didn't think we were going to get that damn thing down. Sort of coils the grappling hook and puts it back over his pack.
Well,
Who do we think this guy is then?
he seemed to have a dislike towards me, so either hates halflings or hates me.
Not one of those Zhentarim lot again.
Well, we can soon find out.
Wait,
Oh, yes.
I'm going to pat him down and kind of get any weapons or...
Yeah, we disarm him and
Yeah.
Okay.
Does he have anything of note on him?
The only thing
Any
that
scrolls with
he
evil
does-
plans on? Or...
he has short sword, light crossbow, all the things that you've seen him kind of using. His black kind of leather armor is studded leather armor, in fact. And he does also have, you find a what I can only describe really as a little badge just tucked on the inside of his armor, which looks to be like a flying serpent with its mouth open, flying towards the horizon. A symbol, certainly, Sergei, you recognise, most definitely, as being that belonging to the Black Network, also known as the Zhentarim.
That's it, is it, Sergei?
That's the one.
Right. Well, let's see what hideous visage this cowl is covering. Remove his mask.
And,
Plot twist, he's gorgeous.
Oh,
They're evil, they usually always...
you see a brown-haired man with a few scars across his cheeks. But otherwise, aside from that, nothing too identifying for you. Certainly not a face you recognise, any of you.
Anyone? Anyone? Friend of yours, Sergei?
Nope, no idea.
I'm gonna start slapping him awake. Like, come on, get up.
And he slowly starts to come to, and he kind of looks up at you and then quickly goes to grab his blade, which is presumably no longer there, as you've
He's restrained as well as he's
disarmed him.
tied.
Yes, he's
Oh,
restrained.
and he's also
tied up.
restrained. You're right.
Can I put Stephen up to his neck as well?
Go for it.
You kind of watch him kind of swallow quite hard as he looks down at the blade.
Hello, this is Stephen. You know who I am, and you probably know who these are. Who are you?
He kind of looks at you and he says, I'm the one that's been... And he kind of tries to wrestle free. I've been sent to take you out.
Oh, how much have they paid you?
Enough?
They're probably ripping you off.
Does he have any of his winnings on him?
No, he does not.
Smart man.
He says, all right, you've had your fun. Hey, you let me go and I'll not speak of this. I'll, just tell them that I couldn't find you and...
That's not how this is gonna work, honey. You give us some information and we might not kill you. Okay? Might. Just like a little pet there.
He, in fact, give me an intimidation check.
Well, things must be expensive to raise, handle, years of training.
That is 19.
He doesn't say anything, but he just does kind of look over to the Wyvern, which is saddled. And you can see there's like some small pouches and bags and things attached to the saddles over there.
I'll go over to the saddle.
Yeah.
Just sort of start taking the things down and just kind of waving a hand like, "Whoa, this thing stinks."
So, time's a ticking. Are you going to tell us anything, or shall I just put you out your misery?
Why do they want me dead?
He says, you'll find everything you need over there. And as for you, and he looks to you, Sergei, he says, you were warned not to defy us.
Okay. And you were warned not to mess with us, so
Exactly. How
Well-
did that turn out, honey?
fuck around, see what happens, eh? You're in the see what happens phase.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of looks over to what Thorik is doing. Thorik, you find a pouch of about 50 gold pieces.
I sort of heft it in my hand, whistle, and I'm like, "Whew, they were definitely underpaying you. 50 gold pieces, Sergei.
Wow, is that all?
I'd say you're worth at least 500.
Oh, at least.
Copper, maybe. I'm hurt. I'm offended.
Anything else in the bags?
There is
Any-
documentation.
Oh, I love documentation.
Is it
Um,
all
reading.
compiled?
What? Type A Thorik coming out. Ooh, some spreadsheets.
Which seems to lay out the purchasing of somebody's debt.
What's the name of?
The debtor that the person who owes the money is one Gundren Rockseeker, and the purchaser of such debt is one Harlier Thornton.
Ah,
Probably not wanting to discuss this in front of the chap. Or I don't know. I kind of just go over and sort of. We've got all the time in the world, so just kind of take the document.
I
over
stay
to-
with the chap.
Oh, I say with the chap as well.
I just take it over to them, and just while they're there, just kind of pass it around the circle, so we've all kind of just read it.
Oh, Oh, interesting, since we can't even trust him.
So what, as much as Thorik might know, which might not be very much, what would the kind of purchasing of someone's debt, so implying that Gundren has a debt to be paid.
Yes.
Harlia has
paid for it.
Harlia's paid for the debt.
Yes.
And so Gundren kind of owes her.
Correct.
Yeah.
What?
So it's like bailiffs, really.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Interesting.
No wonder he was so keen to get to the mine.
So our stake in the mine might not be quite as valuable as we thought if she's going to have her talons in it.
I kneel down next to the Zhentarim, and I say, what should I call you? What's your name?
He says, my name is Geth.
Geth. And tell me, Geth, who hurt you?
The therapy approach.
One doesn't join something as an organization like this if their life's going well. What happened?
Do we care?
Yes, we do care, actually. It is my duty to let him know that there is another path he can take.
I think we're way past that, Marvellus, aren't we?
I have to give him the opportunity.
Oh, fine.
To what?
Now, Geth. Now, tell me, when you return and you failed, what's going to happen to you?
Well, I won't get paid the full amount, obviously. And, well, I hope there will be some leniency shown, I suppose.
That's a fool's hope. I think we both know that that's a fool's hope.
Will they kill you?
No, they won't kill me. They won't kill me, obviously.
Given that they're trying to kill Sergei just because he doesn't want to join your little club party, like, you know.
Well, no.
Well, good.
They're trying to kill him because he knows too much. Obviously.
What do you? This guy? And he sort of like just takes Sergei's chin. He's like, this guy.
Picking his nose.
What does he know? Sergei's like the lovable. He's the lovable guy. You know, he's just a guy. Why? What are you?
He's the one you have to worry the least about.
And so, Geth, tell me, if we let you go and we spare your life, what are you going to do next?
It's a big if.
Choose your next words carefully. What are you going to do next?
He says, well, I will return to Neverwinter with my tail between my legs and tell my superiors that I was not able to find you and I was attacked by bandits on the way down to Phandalin, and I'm gonna have to. They're gonna have to send somebody else to deliver these.
So
they're really gonna believe bandits can kill that. At least call me by my name.
So
well, I mean, I just
your
assumed
life.
that you wanted, you know, that you didn't want it given away that I had obviously met you.
Yeah, we don't want that really.
But
I was trying to do you a favour with that story, but obviously, if that's not what you want,
you're going to return to your previous your lifestyle. Then yes.
Yeah.
Well, I tried. Blessings of Tyr be on you. He's all yours.
He tries.
walk away.
I don't follow his code of conduct, so I'm now your biggest problem. Okay.
Okay. And you kind of see him get a little bit more nervous.
Yeah.
I just shrug at him like,
Thorik just turns around just so he has like
just
cleric's
the other
deniability.
way.
Sergei gets involved. Sergei's like, are you right-handed or left-handed?
So give me one good reason Give me one good reason why I should let you live.
Well, it would be the good, honest thing to do.
And the good, honest thing to do was where you tried to kill us. Why should?
Well, I mean,
say that?
I'm just saying, I might not have been meaning to kill you so much as to.
I think you were, though. Let's not. Don't lie to me.
Well,
honey.
I mean, if I'd bested you, I might have just, tied
Really?
you up and.
Oh, and done even worse things to me, really.
No, not necessarily torture.
Really?
No, just tie you up and question you a little bit and slap you about a bit and give you a bit of
Dear.
I wish
You are
could give
digging
you a-
your own grave. You really are.
I wish I could give you a ladder to climb out to this hole, and I'm going to turn around and let
Yeah.
Saga do something.
Yeah. So, honey, we all know what you were gonna do.
no.
We all know what you're gonna do if we let you go. So, I am gonna show you mercy, because I'm gonna make it quick. Okay?
Oh no! Please don't. No. I mean, listen. If there's anything I can do to help you, I'll happily help you.
Go on, then give me ideas, because at the moment I was just gonna snap your neck nice and quick.
Well,
Time's are ticking.
I mean, what do you need?
Thorik puts his hand up. He just
Yeah.
goes, we could... does he know the area? Does he know anywhere to avoid on our way roughly towards... I don't want to tell you where we're going. Northwest of here. Any things to avoid? Any things to not avoid? Any points of interest?
Well, he says, I would avoid the quiet parts of the road. Bandit activity around here.
How many of you are off to Sergei right this second?
Well, word has only just reached Neverwinter, but that does mean that the Black Network in Neverwinter is certainly aware of you all.
So everyone, basically.
Well, no, not everyone. We're spread quite far and wide. Us Black Network lot. But certainly everybody at Neverwinter is probably aware. But now listen, I was sent to deliver these papers to Miss Thornton at Fandolin, and if I was to see you on my way down, I was to not kill you, obviously, but just deal with
come
you.
on, stop lying to me, honey.
Well,
Stop lying.
I was to engage with you and see if I
Oh,
could
that's a new word for it.
slow you down, and obviously the papers haven't got to Miss Thornton yet in Fandolin, so perhaps I could take the papers back to Neverwinter and hide them or something, because then at least that will buy you some time in whatever it is that you're trying to do. You know.
And how can we trust you to do that and not double cross us? See, you've just put us in a pickle. If you hadn't attacked us at all, we wouldn't be here right now. And yeah. So really, you've only got yourself to blame.
I was just following orders, you know.
Yeah, that's where you made the mistake. You didn't think for yourself.
Well,
Okay.
I'm happy to start thinking for myself now.
It's like being told off by the head
Thorik
team.
just sort of like turns away and says, Saga, stop playing with your food. Come on.
I never get to have any fun. Okay, I'll take his neck and I just snap it.
What was that noise? I'm still facing the other way.
I stood on a twig. Marvellus, don't worry.
I take Marvellus' shoulder and just sort of keep him sort of walking about 10 feet away. And just, so sometimes when Saga feels a certain way about a certain someone,
We've broken the
I'm
Geneva
very-
Convention.
becomes very incensed.
He was going to kill us all and double cross us.
Oh, he was bound. He was bound. This is
Don't think about it. Don't think about it.
He was going to kill us. Okay. He was
I
going to
don't
tell Harley
think, I
where we
don't
were.
think in his current situation he was. Oh dear.
Yes, he was. If we let him go, he would have.
Oh dear.
All right, just let it just run back. Just it's all right. Let it all out. It gets easier.
Did you believe any of the fucking lies from his mouth? I didn't.
That's not the point.
Oh, so we should just let him double cross us, Marvellus? Is that the issue?
Could at least have unbound his hands and given it a choice or a chance.
We gave him a choice. He said he was going to double cross us, okay?
Oh, let's just carry on, shall we?
So all right, buddy. You'll get used to it. It's fine.
I'm not sure I want.
I will not have some fancy pants, soft life twat judge me.
Okay, let's just take the coals out of the forge and let it cool down. Just a small amount.
Oh,
I saved Sergei's life.
Zhentarim don't seem the forgiving type. Not in our moral compass, which is why we didn't do it, which is why we gave him opportunities.
Exactly.
Not this thing. Saga, thank you very much. You're very good. People's births aren't necessarily indicative of their characters. Let's all just...
if anything, this sends a message, which is quite a powerful message, and that's all it is, just a message,
Yeah.
Yes,
But, like,
quite. And
no.
I just I put the front of my the visor of my helmet down, and I remount my steed.
Oh, he's sad.
Okay.
Any Thorik goes up to Silence. Any useful things of this creature? I remember you took something off a manticore once, didn't you?
Is there anything I can take off a wyvern that's useful?
That's Stinger for one. That's basically a wrap a thing off that. And that's a dagger.
Do you want to give me a nature check, please?
Does this man have a dagger?
Yes, he had a short
sword. Yeah, short sword.
Cool. Could I... when Marvellus is looking...
He's riding off. He's like, I need time to get out of here.
get some mud or a blood and kind of draw a little symbol of like a whale on him, on the body, and then just leave the sword impaled in. We've got to have a call sign. We're at the point now. It's call sign time.
Dirty 20.
We're the sticky bandits.
Red.
What was that on the nature check? Sorry.
Dirty 20.
A dirty 20. Okay. So, a wyvern is quite a large creature. So it would take you a couple of hours to try and harvest things from it. But you reckon you would be able to harvest some wyvern meat if that takes your fancy. A wyvern hide, which you could use to craft into leather or studded leather armor with enough gold and time. The stinger, which you could, again, with enough gold and time, craft into a short sword or a long sword, which would deal an additional 1d6 poison damage if it hit. And also, you would be able to perhaps harvest some teeth as well, which you could use to tip arrows or crossbow bolts, dealing an additional 1d4 damage on top of the usual damage for each one of those. But that would
additional
be
1d4 damage
on crossbow bolts or arrows using
bolts,
that
okay.
ammunition. So one tooth would be the tip of an arrow or a crossbow bolt. But that would require an additional nature check across 2 hours to see if you were able.
Probably
to
not going to say you have 2 hours.
those.
Maybe some meat, because we're going to have to eat at some point.
Would I deem that the meat is safe and comestible?
You are proficient in chef's tools and things like that.
Oh, yes.
Do you also want to give me a nature check, but you can use your proficiency bonus if you don't already for nature, or if you do already have proficiency for nature, then do it with advantage.
13.
13. Yes, you believe that the wyvern meat would be edible, certainly.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, I can probably jazz that up with some spices of some kind.
Cut through the gaminess.
Yeah, it's pretty gamey. I mean, like, it's kind of like just a big eel if you think about it. So, eel is good eating. Meatier than you'd expect.
Okay, she'll start hacking off some meat. Not the whole thing, obviously, but
sure,
enough.
A portion, an evening portion. We only need like
enough to feed us.
Sure. So if you begin harvesting this thing now, if more of you get involved, you can of course shorten the time that it takes. It's 2 hours for one person to harvest, 1 hour for 2 people.
I'll help.
All right. Okay.
Having realised that people aren't following me, I sort of trot back.
All right. So this is going to take an hour of time total then, with Thorik and Saga hacking off what they can. So Saga, do you want to give me another nature check, this time with advantage for the assist from Thorik?
Would this count as a short rest, theoretically?
No, because you're in the middle of a journey, and
yes,
short rest counts as... Actually, let me double check that because I might be.
It wasn't like we can only take 1 or 2.
You have one. You have a limit for 1 short rest. I know that for sure.
Let's not use that now.
On the nature check.
What was that? Sorry, Saga.
Nat 20 on the nature.
Very nice. So for clarity, actually, if you wanted to take a short rest, you can take a short rest. It will take you longer than an hour, but not necessarily a full day. But when you take the short rest, you are automatically going to be dealing with another encounter, which may not necessarily be combat, another type of encounter. You'll be adding one to the journey, essentially, by taking your short rest. So that's something for you to debate in a moment, what you want to do.
I should be okay. I think that everyone else is in good nick, so...
Okay.
Seeing that the kind of well-being of the party, Sergei.
Sure. Okay. In which case...
Callum, your keyboard is very vibrating.
Oh, sorry.
It's like... Dakka.
Apologies. Good to know.
All the good time to say it is like... Oh.
Could I get a as the quartermaster for the party? Could I get a 2d6 roll from you, please, Thorik?
Yes.
And likewise, Saga, could I get a d12 roll from you, please?
12.
9.
9. Okay, so you get 9 pounds worth of wyvern meat.
3.
And you get 3 successfully harvested wyvern teeth.
Ooh, wyvern teeth, sees.
Which can be used to tip the arrow.
Yes.
So you got 3 of those.
Oh yeah, that's enough for dinner. 4 kilos.
That's a lot.
In addition, you also do manage to successfully harvest the wyvern stinger and the hide of the wyvern as well. Which are all for crafting various things. Leather armor or studded leather armor for the hide, or
so we've got the stinger and
the hide.
Okay, well, I'll take the hide.
Okay.
I get some sort of oilcloth to safely store the meat and kind of tie it like a little roast essentially, and sort of store it. And just while we're kind of working the leather together and sort of taking the meat and sort of marking down taking probably from the tail meat where I kind of think it's nice and thick. Mm-hmm. Just sort of looking over my shoulder at Marvellus sort of sulking in his helmet. I just say to Saga, I think you hurt his feelings a little bit.
Why should I care, Thorik?
Because he's, I appreciate, I agree with everything you're saying. I appreciate that, we've all got maybe slightly different sensibilities and moral compass, and I agree.
He was going to
Very-
kill all of us.
Oh, preaching to the masses, dear. Preaching to the masses.
So I was trying to prevent a future problem, which you know we would have had.
100%.
If
100%.
nothing else, he hurt my fucking feelings with his judgment. So no, I will
I'm
not
not-
apologize to him.
I didn't say anything about apologizing.
Yes, you did.
I
So if he has a problem, he can come straight to me.
I genuinely didn't, but anyway, so Thorik's on the back foot. Just like having these kind of conversations with Target. He's traveling with us now, and I'm not saying that there weren't things said on both sides. You have very different perspectives on things, which is a good thing.
Why do I feel like you're taking his side, Thorik? After everything we've been through.
You are making a big assumption there. He kind of gets a little bit stoned. He's like, hey, hang on. I'm just saying it might be an idea, seeing as we're all traveling together and we're all allies, and he's pledged himself to come into some shit situations for not a lot of gain to himself, other than obviously saving the world. It might be better if we could all, not just you, bury the hatchet a little bit.
Well, how about you?
Do the hatchet happily.
How about you go talk to him then as well?
I intend to.
While that's been going on, Sergei's
Yes.
actually going to go over to Marvellus, if that's all right.
Of course. You have an hour
He's just
to
sitting
kill,
there with his
so-
helmet down, with his arms crossed, just sitting on his horse.
I just turn over my shoulder to while I'm hacking things up, and sort of mouth to say, I'm just like, help.
Hey, Marvellus!
Yes. Oh, hello. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Look, I found something at the bottom of my costume bag, and I suppose what I'm trying to say is I need to kind of be a bit undercover, so how would you like a squire?
Well, a squire, you say? You'll think you're up to the job?
Well, I don't think I'm up to anything, but, I can most certainly try.
Yes. Very good. Well, consider yourself for the time being, until we can vet you properly. Yes, I could. It's a serious undertaking. You understand?
Oh, yes, of course. Take shoes off and carry bag.
And, your actions will, of course, reflect upon me. So I will expect you to hold yourself to a high standard. Yes.
Well, high standard is, not
As high as we all can reach. Each their own.
Yes, 4 feet high. Yes, that would be wonderful, actually. Let me just... Let's kind of reach into his costume bag. Let me just put this on, then, I suppose. If we're going full squire. So, how do I look, Marvellus?
Already you look more befitting of the role.
Wonderful. What do I do?
Well, I suppose once we've sorted that, my armor will need polishing.
Yes. Now?
But we can. Oh no! When we deal it later. For now, I suppose we'll just move on. I can guide you as we go and teach you in the way of the squire.
Not cleaning is not my forte, but back on the ship we had a game called Spit and Scrub, and I imagine it's not too dissimilar to that.
Ah, a man of the seas.
Yes.
Good to know.
I'm going to turn over to Thorik and just go.
Tell me,
Yes.
Squire Sergei.
Oh,
Is that uncivilized she-wolf prone to cold-blooded murder?
My God.
well, listen. A, uncivilized civilized is not word befitting Saga. We have all had different upbringings, and have all had to live through different things. I'm sure there are things you have had to live through that Saga would not understand. Likewise, myself and Thorik. We, for the past few months, have been in some pretty dire situations. So we've had to learn to survive, I suppose. And to you, that may be feral. To us, that is lifestyle in some aspect.
Yes, but you must understand, my vexation comes from the fact that when I put that fellow to sleep, I put him at our mercy. A mercy she threw back in my face.
Yes.
I said, when she revealed to me of her affliction, that I was sent to deal with a werewolf problem, and that as long as she was not a problem, I wouldn't include her in that. If she throws such mercy back in my face again, I will have to consider her a problem. Do you understand, Squire?
Yes, sir. But listen, sir. You also have to understand she was protecting my life from some very dangerous people. And how many bounty hunters have you met in your life?
Well, more than I'd like to admit, but...
okay, you understand that they will go back, heal, recover, get paid more.
Let's just try and keep the killing to people who have a weapon in their hand, not their hands bound behind their back. You understand?
I understand. And I'm going to turn to Thorik like...
So, obviously, assuming we didn't hear any of that, Thorik just kind of sums up. He's like, look, I've got your back in anything. And I'm just saying, let's just try and stay friendly, okay? And don't, Thorik kind of gets a bit British and is like, don't get too quick to throw our history back in my face, Saga. I'm on your side.
What have I done? What have I exactly done to you? Nothing.
No, you have. I'm really confused. You've done nothing to me.
Well, it sounds like you're threatening me.
How?
You just said don't throw our history in your face.
Because you did, and it kind of hurt my feelings, bluntly. I'm not threatening you, Saga. I don't threaten, and I don't threaten friends, let alone surrogate sisters like yourself. But I will call you out on shit you do. And don't make light of my care for you, is all I'm saying.
Well, you seem very concerned at someone we barely know. Okay?
Because he's helped.
He did help.
And we couldn't have done a lot of what we've done without him. That's all I'm saying.
He did help.
Sticking up for him is not an attack against you, okay?
Might be in the future. Depending on what he now thinks of me. Okay? He doesn't understand that if we'd let him go. Do you think I enjoyed doing that? Do you think I enjoyed what I just did? I didn't. I hate it. I hate that I ever had to become this. Okay?
Your situation, you mean?
The War Bride. I was meant to live my life on a farm, okay? I was never meant to pick up a sword. I didn't have a choice. And what I just did then was to save all your lives, including his, because that man was going to double cross us and we would have an even bigger problem. Regardless of that, I am gonna see his face in my dreams. Okay? And I will regret it. But I will go down with my own choices. But don't you for a second think this is what I wanted.
I'm sorry.
This is not what I wanted. I don't want to know how to kill. I don't want to. Okay? I wanted to live on a farm, look after some cattle, get married, have some kids. I'm well aware I'm a monster. So to have you judge me, it hurts. It breaks my heart.
Saga, I am not judging you. You are not a monster. You have never been a monster in my eyes. For what little my opinion means, you are not a fucking monster. Okay?
Yes, I am. I'm a murderer.
We can only do the things we can with the hand that we're dealt. And you were dealt a fucking shit hand. I don't see a monster. I don't see the bad in you. I see the good, and I see what you try to do, and I see what you achieve. And yes, maybe our hands are all a little redder than we want them to be, but I understand why you chose to do what you just did, and I appreciate that it's not something I could do. And I'm sorry that it's something you feel you...
It seemed less cruel than leaving him here, tied up and to starve to death. Because that
Agreed.
was probably our only viable option, to not have him double-cross us.
Agreed. This is no... I'm sorry, I didn't mean to have quite such a big conversation with you, but if you want to talk about this more, we can swing by camp later.
I think you should talk to him before we have a bigger problem. 'Cause I'm sure he will never look me in the eye again.
Well,
And she just goes back to, like, hacking me.
Thorik tries to speak again and kind of very much marking that the conversation's over. He kind of just nods, finishes the job, takes the meat, and while she's taking the stinger and skin, he just goes back to his pack, kind of runs his fingers through his hair and sort of looks at Sergei and just goes,
I'm going to head over to Thorik
yeah.
and just go, I'm the squire now.
And don't you look the part.
Thank you, Thorik. It's a costume. Don't be deceived. It won't help me in any way.
Oh, but it's a very striking figure you got.
Thank you. Maybe I look scary. How's the Wyvern?
The Wyvern has lost none of its sharpness, and its venom is still very much strong.
I could understand that. Being a squire also has its difficulties.
Yeah.
There is very high expectation, and there is very high standards to live up to. And I, as a squire, do not want to dip down to certain levels.
I've found that handling a wyvern, no matter how well you know the wyvern, sometimes you still get bitten.
Yes. I found being a squire difficult to navigate on the fact that I've never had to be a squire before, and I do not understand the world of squireship.
Yeah. I'm getting a bit tied up in these metaphors.
Yes, we should carry on the journey.
That conversation went really badly. I didn't get across I don't think I got across anything I was trying to say. I feel like Saga felt she was backed up into a corner, which was very much not my intention, regardless of what I did. I'm not as good at talking as you are. No matter the feelings are there. I'm trying to help and solve people, and I'm good at fixing people and things, but there's a lot of therapy that needs to happen there.
I think
as I recall,
we all need some, actually.
It's too real.
Yeah. Well, listen, same on my end. I think it's going to be difficult, but we all had our differences when we started out, and look how close we are now. Through dangerous situations, the knots get tied stronger. So,
Aye. I'm gonna talk to I'm gonna talk to Marvellus at some point.
my lord, please. Would you like me to escort you, Thorik?
Maybe not now.
Yes.
Maybe later, once everyone's got full bellies, you might try your hand with the wyvern.
Yes.
Saga, I'm talking about Saga.
Oh, I got that. Yes, and I'm talking about... Yes, you... Well, good luck. I'll get our stuff ready to continue on. And
yeah, I'm really looking forward to the next hours of awkward silence before we make camp tonight.
It's going to be brilliant.
Oh, great.
To break it. Song.
I might talk about the weather at some point as well. Yeah, we'll throw that into
after like an hour of whatever, the most awkward silence, and everyone's eating quietly, Taka's gonna go to Marvellus. And she's gonna hand him a dagger, as in the safe end, and go, here you go.
And what's this for?
Just trying to do a symbol. It didn't really work. Anyway, I think we need to talk.
Sorry, metaphor's never been my strong suit. Please, yes, let's speak plainly.
You first.
Right, well, I know I triggered some animosity, I think is fair to say. And that's not my intention. You must understand, I know I am a stranger to you, and my ways might seem alien. There is a lot of pressure on my shoulders. I know to you I might seem like I've got everything sorted out. But the oath that I took is, though it's not in my nature, and it's not easily broken. There are consequences for it. And And I have a duty to try and reach down into the gutter to help those that have fallen down there back up. And that requires a steady footing, for it is too easy to be pulled down into that gutter among them. Especially when it's somewhere that I spent so many years. So I'm sorry if I try to enforce my principles upon you. But it's something I have to do. My future depends on it. I can't be seen to slip. I hope you understand.
I do, to a point. I think the mistake you make is you think I enjoyed what I just did. That you think I saw any other way out.
I certainly didn't mean to imply that.
Speak
Does the
plainly.
fact-
I would rather you be completely honest with me. You're not in court. You
want me to speak. You want me to speak plainly. I did not mean to imply that. The fact that you inferred that perhaps tells you something. Do you fear that you would enjoy it?
I'm not going to lie. I did enjoy. There was some enjoyment in killing my ex-husband. Do you know our story? Has anyone enlightened you? What happened?
It wasn't mine to pry, but it certainly did not seem a happy marriage. If you
No. I was 16.
Just a child.
I'd never held a sword before. Trust me, I didn't look like this. They raided our village. He stabbed my father in front of me. I don't know what happened to my mother, but I assume she's dead. I hope they only killed her. They took me and some others back. Back into the Silver Marshes. We were married for 16 years.
Half your life.
Yes. And his entire tribe was the same or worse than him. They reveled in murder. They loved it. They loved torturing, killing, stealing, you name it. There's only so much you can cry. After the first 6, I think he'd grown fond of me enough, so I managed, and it took a long time and a lot of convincing. He taught me how to fight. Okay. So yes, I became a monster to survive them. Make no mistake. I hate who I am, what I am. The fact he turned me into a werewolf is just bit on the nose, really. After everything. That man whose neck I snapped, because I take full accountability for every life I've taken. Did I want to do it? No. But tell me one other option we had. Tell me one other option we had. So if you're going to call me a monster, call me to my face.
Do you know what
I agree with you.
Do you know what a monster is? I do. I fight them. A monster is a creature that is beyond redemption. I know monsters well. And as I look in your eyes, I don't see that. Yes, your path has gone far from the path you wanted to tread. Some of that, most of that, against your will. But the steps you make now are your own. And just know, a change of direction is always possible, even though it may be treacherous, uphill. But understand, you're not traveling alone. We walk a path together. And I will be here without judgment by your side. Consider me an opportunity. You've just quite violently closed a chapter of your life. As much as I hate books, I suppose the analogy would be the pen is in your hand. What will the next chapter entail? You can write, can't you?
Yes. Yes.
Good. Sorry, I didn't want to assume.
Remember in the tavern when I told you I used to read a lot?
Yes. Sorry, I zoned out.
Yeah, I actually asked my ex-husband, you know, when he raided. I asked for a lot of books, actually. So,
well, then my analogy stands. Do we understand each other perhaps a little better?
I hope so.
Good. I hold the dagger. Do I keep this or?
Well, I was going to give it to you and say, if you're going to kill me with that. It was your hands. So, I don't know. No, daggers aren't really for me. You know, symbolic.
Well, I shall treasure.
I think I read it in a book. It kind of worked better in my head.
I shall treasure it. Squire?
Yeah.
Place this in my pack, would you?
Like, I've been like with Thorik, like, I think it's going okay.
We've been like trying not to. It's like when your parents having an argument, like trying not to listen. Just like, what do you think of the wyvern, Sergei?
Yes, this food is delicious.
I think the char I've got in it has managed to get rid of a lot of the gamey flavour.
What does game mean?
It's kind of that slight sort of meaty funk. You know when like pickled herring. You know when
Meaty
something's
funk?
like you know when something's like pickled or like preserved, it gets that kind of funk to it.
Yeah, no, Meaty Funk, I know him. He was on my ship.
Yeah. I'm gonna go get more firewood.
1 second, I've been called. Yes, your lord.
Put this in my pack, would you?
Yes, your lord.
Which is next to him.
I'm not going to even ask.
Hey, Saga.
Hi, Sergei.
Put it in the pack.
So, next time we have that situation, because honestly, I did what I did out of mercy. I know you might find it hard to believe, but the only other option I could see was to leave him here tied up and starve to death.
I understand. We have difficult decisions to make every day.
So next time, what do you want to do?
Well, call me old-fashioned, but I prefer my foes to die with a sword in their hand, not tied behind their back.
Well, you can fight them then.
Agreed.
Anything else, Lord?
No, that'll be all for now. At ease.
Just
Yes.
don't make him do anything too humiliating.
No, my hazing days are behind me.
Noted.
Hey there, Questers. I just wanted to take a quick moment to say a huge thank you to all of our Patreon supporters and YouTube members. Your support really helps to keep this channel going strong. So I wanted to give a special shout out to each and every one of you, our incredible patrons and YouTube members, who are Woodstrapper, Simon Jelly, Martin C, Gallus, Gary Lloyd, James Hamilton, JR Belliston, Robert Treadwell, Jason Udall, Jason Bradwell, Nigel Raggett, Rebecca Hill, Giles McGee, and Caesars. Honestly, your support truly makes a huge difference, and we appreciate you more than we can express. And to those of you who haven't yet joined, I would invite you to consider becoming a patron or YouTube member. Not only will you unlock fantastic benefits, including early access to videos, exclusive behind-the-scenes content, and access to our Discord channel, but you'll also be directly contributing to the growth and success of this channel. But to everybody, thank you again for all of your support and helping us to tell these incredible adventures together.